Hey everybody, this is Grace, and I just finished up a video. I turned it into a vlog where I was going to talk about how I want to do, these are author's notes, how I want to do these stories that I have for, I'm doing rough drafts and highlights and stuff like that, and for a real big story. And it consists of a town. It's all fictional. Everything's fictional except for the state. Except for things that you wouldn't think were fictional. But like the cities or towns, both are fictional. The state I'm using is Texas. I'm Texan. This is Texas. So, but the characters, they're going to be totally fictional. Standard disclaimers and copyrights and such apply. They're purely fictional. And I'm not sure how many towns. They're going to be towns, and these towns are going to, unless I change it later on, which I expect I'll be changing things here and there, and sometimes forgetting things. So I'm keeping notes and binders. But they're going to surround this one town, Needles, Texas, which is, like I said, fictional. But Needles, as in they have some north, south, east, west people come from around those small towns into Needles, it's like more of a small city instead of a town, and it has things that they can buy, like big warehouse store and stuff like that. And but I was going to put them all on one channel. I have more than one channel. I could use other channels that I don't use. When at first I used to try to tell people how to make a channel under channels and stuff like that. I don't know if it still works that way or not, but I think so. I don't know, but I can use those, and I would need like probably at least 5 for like the different areas, like north, south, east, west, and then central. And I can expand if I need to, but I was going to put it all on one channel. I said, why do I want to do that? Why would I want to do that? Why not separate into these channels? And like 3 of the channels I have used in the past, and because I'm, like I've said in that last video, I'm definitely not much of a videographer, a video person, actually speak and be in front of a camera. I've always been more of a writer. I've lost touch because I started doing videos around 6 years ago. 6 years ago, the first channel, original channel, and it was 6 years in August. And my grammar sucks now, and concentrating to get it all right, difficult. The grammar, like I said, sucks, and plus remembering what I've already done. Yeah. Because this already has been over months. So I've been keeping them in binders. But that's what I'm saying. I think I'm going to do that, to use like mainly one channel to I don't know. I'm this goes into it. This is the thought process of going into it. And besides just making the rough draft, the notes, the highlights, the rough draft, people do it different ways. When I was a student, highlights and things like that. No, I just sat down and I wrote. In my papers, not bragging, just matter of fact. That's why I said I'm not that, I'm good at this one, but I know that, but not the video thing. But my papers got held up, and I was a career student, college and university. They got held up saying, this is how you do them. This is how you write a paper. Period. This is how you write one. So I did everything. I was really good at it. But making videos, as far as oral, verbal, not so much. I know that. I'm well aware of it. 6 years. You don't think I know? So yeah, I mean, I go with the flow, and it goes crazy. It flows in all kinds of directions, like my cities, my towns, and for my story. And I've always wanted to do this since I was young, really. I've written stories before. I used to write on storyboards. I don't even know if they have those anymore, where people contribute to a storyline. This was like back in the 90s. And, like somebody adds one paragraph or one, one paragraph or so, or however much they feel like writing, and then another person comes behind them and writes more. And then another person, continues the story, storyboards. I don't know if they have, if they do have them, what they call them these days, but that's what it was then. And but I wanted to write something myself, and it is, like I say, copyrighted to me. You can't steal my ideas, my characters, my storyline, none of that. There's so many steal your ideas type people out there. Whew, that's going to be part of my stories. It already is. But anyway, I think I'm going to find one channel to make more of the verbal part of it. But I might have to do it with others, because when you start talking about what the city is like, or the town, what the town is like, the people, how they're set up. Mine are going to have different kinds of setups in their towns, the way they govern them, or anything. Like one's going to be a lake, one's going to have a weird governing body, two of them together, foundation and peace, two towns. They have their own little story, and then they're to the west, and the one to the east is where a lake is, and north and south haven't been thought up yet. So, okay, now I would say that the one of them to the has a beach, but can't be to the east. It's in Texas. Well, actually, it can be to the east in southern Texas, but I'm thinking more of more like it's going to be. I'm not sure if I would. Like I said, they're fictional towns. Texas is real, fictional town. More like to the like north central to northeast, somewhere in there, fictional. Like I said, Now I had made up a story one time before, and I just wish I could remember what. I remember bits and pieces. It was years ago. I did a lot of writing that for classes that weren't fictional. They were, writing, and they would tell me to publish it and stuff like that. So I've actually been published, but these I just want to be fictional stories. And like I said, there was one of them in between, and I had a real cute name for one of the towns. If I do remember any of that story, I'm going to make him to the north of Needles. And but it had one that was called, it was something like the Devil's something. Now, I know that, I remember my mother saying something about Hell's Half Acre or something. I don't know. I know there are some cute names for towns in Texas, like Cut and Shoot. I've driven through Cut and Shoot so many times, it's unbelievable. But not lately, not in years. But I did for years. And Cut and Shoot. Cut and Shoot. I don't know. I think that's what it's called. But I had a really cute name for it. So those will probably be to the north. And south will be just something totally new. If I can remember that story, it was years ago. And I didn't have any rough draft. I didn't have anything kept. I lost a lot of stuff years ago because of, different reasons. But anyway. Okay. And other kind of notes. Like I said, I had started just writing these stories months ago. Like Sherilyn and what were the other names? I don't even remember the other names. I had uploaded them to different channels, then I decided to put them all on one channel. So I deleted them from those channels, kept them sitting there, so I had different channels used for this or that. And finally I uploaded them to this one channel, and I had made some public, and then I took them down and then started all over, uploaded them again. Thank goodness it's easy to do with PowerPoint. I do it from my desktop computer, and they're right there. And so like I said, and I had some, but I don't remember the names of the characters. Luckily, I've written them down. But they're also already on the videos that all I have to do is re-upload them. And, what was that? Why was I even talking about that? I don't know. Okay, yeah, I got distracted. Anyways, I do know some of them, like Miranda, and some of them I've named, but I haven't made the videos for. And then also, I wanted, like, the parts of Peace and Foundation, I have plenty of written already, you know, handwritten down on notes. I'm keeping this binder. I'm holding my lap. You hear me ruffle the papers. And I have those, and, you know, got names and all that. But I have them working in different places, or the way they met was from different ways. You know, some of it involves Needles, and you know, Needles, Texas, fictional. Okay. And so I have to get that all organized. Seriously. And then I was going, like I said, I was going to put them together. But no, I think I should separate each one onto a different channel so they don't get overly confusing. But there's one channel that I have. I had videos on because I thought all my channels were corrupted. Long story. I've already mentioned that before in a video. And I have I took the videos and just made them all private. But I think I'll but what I wanted to do with that channel was to do it where it's just me writing without people knowing. But I don't think that's going to work because of like I was saying earlier, either in this video or the other one, that there's a lot to towns to talk about, and it needs to be verbal. And writing on PowerPoint, forget it. So many details that no, it's not going to work. No. Okay, my goodness. I looked up at my camera and it had turned off. I was like, what? I probably hadn't pushed the button, and I was just talking away. So yeah, and I don't know where I left off, and I'm not going to check it, but I'm starting to get a little bit of a headache. And that didn't help much, matters much. But anyway, I think I have already mentioned that I'm going to separate them, and within each of the towns, you know, like Peace and Foundation are just so connected. They're literally, you know, towns that are connected. They're fictional, but towns connected, and with their own storyline. So they're going to have a different playlist. You know, they'll be on one channel, and then they have different storylines within them. They're going to be separated into, like I said, playlists. It's a lot to work out. And then the other ones for North, West, Central, you know, Needles, Central, Texas, and South, each have their own channel. I'll have them on a different channel, and they'll have stuff like that too. This, now, I was saying when I realized I must not have turned it on because it went off, but was that if I don't, you know, during this pandemic, what's 8, 9, 10 months, however much here, since February for me, I know, but, and this is October 28th, 2020, but if I didn't have this to occupy my mind, everything else has become so Groundhog Day. This is really, I mean, I've been doing this for months. This has really helped me. And I've had times in my life when it helped me to write stories. You know, I wish I could remember that other one, more of the details to it. It keeps coming like in flashbacks, really. Little pieces, like little flashback, little movies in my head. Because when I write something, it's like I'm writing a movie in my head. Really. Okay, well, when I write a story, that's how it is. Now, as I said, I've had these channels that I don't really use, or none of my channels do I use on a regular basis. Really. And there's stories behind how each of them come about, different ways and different reasons. But why don't I utilize them, you know? I can work on the stories on this one one day, I have 7 days a week, okay, and just, use different days of the week for whatever, and that's where my mind is thinking. But also, like I had when I first started writing this, the town's piece and foundation, it was small town drama, and those were what we're doing verbally. And then I also made some, I think it was called The Cruise, but I think I only made one video on that. And let's see, one was on the job, and I think I made 1 or 2 on that. And I think I'm going to use those to change the names of the like to business office. I'm going to have things like business office in a county, what is it, a county hospital, that's in Needles, and for all the surrounding stuff. Needles is more like the business place, but like Peace and Foundation is more of the business area for Peace, but for the whole area surrounding Needles is the county hospital and everything. So let's make it fictional and say it's a whole county. Okay. And lots of farms and ranches. It's all lots of land for farms and ranches and dude ranches. It's and all of it. And Needles is like I said, the kind of like the tourist town. But so many different things. And this is really helping me, I'm telling you, to make it, like I just said, less of a Groundhog Day, and something to change and keep my mind occupied. And of the things I've done in the past, it's like I'm not so interested. I'm not interested in making verbal videos, but I will, because it helps to make author's notes, and this is the process, just for fun. Okay, just for fun. And but it's copyrighted to me, and nobody can steal my ideas, my thoughts, my characters, my storyline, my nothing. Ooh, that's a pet peeve of mine, people who steal your ideas and make them their own. They just put a little twist on them. And those, and of course it's all fictional, just fabrications of my own mind, characters, and all that. And I gotta make more of to remember more often to put the copyright at the end of them, although any of them cover all the videos I make at all. I think if you publish something on YouTube, you are copyrighted to it. Okay. Anyway, that's the process today. Like I said, none of this is going to go up on time because I have a backlog. I've been really wanting to wait until after the elections. Oh my goodness. I have noticed, I had one video on my original channel I put up. Nobody watched it. Nobody. I've been on that one for 6 years and nobody watched that video. And they've watched videos with that topic before. And this was about, I think this was in September, sometime, say a month ago or so. And I was like, what's wrong with it? And I looked at it and I tried to check to see, if I did something wrong. I said, well, maybe I just need to put it on unlisted. So I put it on unlisted and I forgot about it. Well, I went back and I said, why do I have this unlisted? I said, maybe I just try to schedule it out. And the old Classic didn't let you do that, I don't think. But I did. And I thought, well, maybe it'll publish it, new. Maybe I hadn't published it before. Maybe that was the problem. I never made it public, actually public. No, that wasn't the problem. It still had the same date that I had originally made it public. The only way, once I made it public, that I originally made it public was still there. The only way I know is to download and upload again, but you lose all those views and stuff like that. It had no views. And I know this, a lot of it's because of this election. My views on my channels have gone down to practically like nothing. Yeah. So I've been wanting to, I took them down. The ones I took had been written on PowerPoint. I took those down, and I'm going to make those. I'm making one public actually tonight, and I'll see how it does. But I wanted to wait. Next week is the election. There'll probably still be drama. When does drama ever end with this? But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm writing. Well, I had stopped writing this type. I have other I've done other kinds of videos, like just writing people asking questions of people of interest, their interests and stuff. I'll probably do that, a little bit of that. But I do have some videos I've done that I have 2 or 3 that I need to make public that are not on this story, but I've done them and I want to make public. They're verbal. So anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up. I'll talk to you on another video.